Give them some love and appreciation. You might as well say it, I'm living a blessed life. You might as well just say that, I'm living a blessed life. I'm open and receptive to the mighty blessings. A divine love, infinite prosperity, and pure joy. I'm living a blessed life. Look around and see who's swimming with you in this ocean of devotion. Consciously, every person that your eye lays upon, you release a secret and silent blessing that they receive what they need and they have everything that they need. Just let your eyes be a blessing. Now let your eyes fall upon an individual sitting right next to you. As you look at them, it is a blessing. Look at them and say, my, my, my. The glory of beauty is running all through you. Power is moving through you. Infinite intelligence has your name. Prosperity is your game. Pure joy is singing through you. And you have come to set these qualities free to make a mighty difference on this planet and to help change the world for the better. Let's be about this together in the here and now, and so it is. Amen. Touch and agree. As we do week after week after week, including those who are on the Facebook Live technology and live streamers, love streamers, we're creating a coherent field that is imbued with power and joy and love and abundance, a cohesive, coherent field of love and beauty and intelligence, because that's where our attention is. You've come to realize that that your real name is awareness, and that your essence is limitless love intelligence. Your name, your real nature, who you are, is pure awareness. The body temple is in your awareness. Your mental body is in your awareness. Your emotional body is in your awareness. The body of your affairs are in your awareness. All of these beings are in your awareness. The entire world is in your awareness. You are pure awareness itself, and all of this phenomena is flowing through your awareness. Your essence is limitless love intelligence. That is your very essence. And though your mind may have been hijacked from time to time to think that you're merely the son and daughter of your mom and dad, or where you grew up geographically, or what schools you went to, things of that particular nature, that is such a limited point of view of who and what you really are. But if you hold on to that limited point of view and those mental laws from that small identity, then you will continue to experience that particular point of view as it plays out over and over and over again. And you will desperately perhaps seek to change the external world without changing your perception. It will never happen. You are under the aegis of the law of who and what you identify yourself as. And so this month we have been working with mastering the laws of life, understanding that there's the law of mind and action, and that is whatever your predominant thought is, there is a vibration that emits from that, and by law, the law matches that vibration, and experience happens. There is the law of radiance, by which you come into an understanding that you're not merely attracting things to you, you're sending out a frequency and radiating a quality, an essence, a point of view that when matched becomes your experience. There is the law of circulation that states in substance that everything in its totality has been given you, and you are to cultivate, activate, and circulate it, your talents, your gifts, your substance, all of that, so that it doesn't stagnate, with a sense of fear and hoarding, you are to practice the law of circulation. There is the law of right speech, by which you never want to say what you don't want to experience, whether you're talking about yourself or someone else. Right speech is to keep your conversation in heaven, as the statement used to be, and it still is, that is speaking affirmatively about life and about others. There is the law of forgiveness. There are so many tributaries of learning how to master the laws of life, which are not personal. However, they will ultimately be your personal soul signature by which you are identified by the law of life in the world, that will allow you never to masquerade, never to hide from your predominant thought, your conversation, your circulation, your radiance, the forgiveness or lack thereof. You are always never hidden by your practice, consciously or unconsciously, of the laws of life. So you have come not to fall under the siege of a doctrine, not to fall under the siege of even a spiritual community, but to come into an awareness that there are laws, that if you practice these laws and these sacred principles, and to the degree that you do so, your life will change for the better. And these laws do not care about your past. They do not care about your younger self and the decisions your younger self made. They do not care about that. They only are, this law in the presence of God is no respecter of persons, only consciousness. So the moment you begin to engage in spiritual practice, in that instant, the trajectory of your life begins to change. It does not say, well, wait, whoa, you did all of this and you said all of that. No. That's a misunderstanding of the law of karma. Karma is a release of energy that you begin to experience what you put out, what you receive what you put out. But the moment you shift your vibratory frequency, you are no longer under that particular law. You're under the law of the Christ. You're under the law of life, you see. Karma, understand this, can only determine starting points. Karma cannot determine destiny. Your destiny is determined by attitude, which determines character. Character determines your destiny. So you are free from the misguided understanding of karma when you begin to practice the laws of life and take them reverentially. Then you will change and grow from a glory to greater glory. And so because you are here means that somewhere in your life, the choices and decisions that you have made have allowed you to come into a spiritual community, a progressive spiritual community that reveals itself as rich diversity, reveals itself as each and every one of us seeking to be instrumentalities of an unconditional, all-conditional agenda of love, something you cannot do with your mind, something you can't will yourself into doing. It is something that takes over your life, in which you become so sensitive you can't even hold a grudge. It's just, no, you just can't have it. Can't have it in your system. You're under that particular frequency. And so you begin to know, as today's topic would be, if you can, you must. What does that mean? Somewhere along the line, we come to an understanding that we are limitless love intelligence, that we have infinite potential. Say that, I have infinite potential. Infinite potential is within me. And so with the awareness that there's infinite potential within you, you are here to discover, activate, and express that potential, because one of the greatest sins is wasted potential. And so somewhere along the line, your priority in life becomes the activation of your potential. That becomes your priority. Everything else is subsumed. Is that a word? It is now. In the trajectory of activating potential. Of course, activating potential means having the mind in you that was in Christ Jesus, Buddha field, and having the mind within you that was in any avatar. It means to totally wake up. It means to totally have a spiritual realization of your oneness with the presence of God. The activation of your potential must be paramount. And because you now know this, you must be about this kind of business. Which means as you wake up in the morning, yes, you've got a to-do list. Yes, you got things to do. Yes, you have place of employment. Yes, 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 yes. But all of that is governed by and must be in the frequency of, I am here to live my highest potentiality. When that occurs, the progressive nature of the universe, which is the outpicturing of the mind, heart of love, intelligence, another name for God, when in fact you say, I am infinite potential, and because I can't activate it, I must, then you're supported by the progressive universe, because the progressive universe, let me say this is how it goes. There's the presence, and then there is the universal law, and there's the outpicturing of the universe, which is progressive. The universal presence wants to know itself as you. You want to take this in for a second. This presence, which is vast and limitless, and as vast, as limitless as it is, ultimately needs your permission for it to come into its own as your life. It is infinite, which is why there's no one here in this room that is exactly the same, because this presence never repeats itself, never does a do-over. Got you right the first time. And so, in its infinitude, it wants to know itself as you, which is why you were created, you see? It wants to know itself. And so you're activating of your potential. And you say that when you wake up. I'm going to be more myself by the end of the day. I'm going to be more myself by the end of the month. I'm going to be more myself by the end of the year. I'm going to be more. I don't want to even recognize myself next year. I don't even want to know who that individual was, because there's more coming. I am standing under the frequency in gratitude that I have infinite potential, and I am surrendering to it. Understand what I just said? I am surrendering to it. That is the real mature nature of surrender. It is not surrendering to an external deity. It is surrendering to the next stage of your own unfolding. You're surrendering to the activation of your potential, which is God in you, you see. And so because you can, you must. Say it, because I can, I must. Because you have infinite potential and you know it. Because you can, you must. Because one of the great sins is wasted potential. And when you cross the great divide and shed the body temple, you're going to kick yourself in the butt for all the potential that you wasted and left on the side. You did. I was afraid. People would laugh at me. I don't know if I could do it. You remember last week, whining, you go for it. And then the law, because your personal law, because going for it. Your personal law becomes, I'm activating my potential. That becomes your personal law. And in ways beyond what you can do mentally or physically, things start to open up for you to become more yourself. Opportunity shows up. Doors open. You meet people. Things happen because you're radiating the frequency of my priority is to become the next great vision and version of myself. Because you can, you must. And then you become aware, and you know this. You have so much information in you. Throughout the years, you have a lot of information as to how to live life. You have a lot of information as to what to do. Yeah, but it's mere information until it became transformed into knowledge via action. And so you do not want the spirit of life to suffer a stillbirth by not acting by the good you already know. In other words, you're not coming to become a consumer of more information, and end up being a spiritually stagnated and spiritually constipated. So much information about metaphysics, you can't do anything, and you have a paralysis by analysis. No. You act by the good you already know. You find a way for any bit of information to become an action. It can be something as small as writing a note to someone that did something kind for you, or something monumental that may change the course of history. It doesn't matter. You have to, at some point, synthesize the information so that it becomes transformational. And because you can, you must. God suffers a stillbirth until you act by the good you already know. When you act by the good you already know, more is given in you. There's a circulation of energy, and more and more and more is given you. So you're not just sitting around waiting, becoming a glutton for more info, and waiting for something to happen. I know all this information. Why isn't my life changing? No. Act by the good that you know. Practice. Small acts. How can I take what was said and put it into action? How can I master these sacred laws of law of mind in action, the law of radiance, the law of circulation, right conversation, forgiveness in others? How can I move into action? Because you can, you must. And then you become aware. As we like to remind people when we're doing our deep dives in our meditation retreats and in classes, that there are so many people under the siege of self-preservation on the planet. People that their first thought is shelter or food or water. They would love to have the opportunity to come to a spiritual community, to listen to some good music, to pray, to meditate, to sing, to dance, to hear a message. They would love to take classes. They would love to go on retreats, but they cannot because they're under the siege of self-preservation. But because you can, you must practice. Because you have, whatever karmic propensity and choices and decisions that you have made, you get to be here. You get to sit at home and sit for a while and contemplate the divine presence. You get to affirm that your life is blessed. You get to walk in this awareness. And because you can do it, you must do it. You must do it. And because at this level of quantum reality or mystical awareness basically says that we're all one. Quantum reality says we're all one. Same thing, different language. So when you hear Jesus the Christ saying, "As I am lifted up, I draw all unto me," that was a quantum statement of we're connected. We're in a field of connection. And we're having a level of coherence around the idea that heaven is at hand, that the kingdom of God is within. As I am lifted up, I draw all unto me into this highest frequency. The higher frequency always wins. And so because you can, then you must take into your awareness as you're growing, developing, and unfolding, as you're extending yourself and activating your divine potentiality, you must consider everyone who cannot. Not to go into sympathy, but to go into compassion. These are different vibrational frequencies. Sympathy says, I know how you feel. Empathy says, I'll feel for you. Compassion says, I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to rise up and alleviate suffering. I'm not going to get in the ditch with you vibrationally, but I'm going to do whatever is necessary to alleviate suffering through action, through prayer, through shifting the paradigm. And so, because you can, you must. At times, when you are eating your food, think about the beings who don't have enough to eat. It doesn't mean you don't eat. It means as you're eating, you're releasing a secret, sacred prayer for the shift of paradigm on the planet, that everyone gets food, everyone gets shelter, everyone gets opportunity, because there's more than enough on our planet. It's just stuck and stagnant based on immature economic systems, you see? It's stuck and stagnant based on limited perception and beliefs in scarcity. And so you may not think that your one little life is going to make a difference, but you look at your heroines and your heroes that you love and you genuinely are devoted to, that they were just one life that transformed the lives of hundreds and thousands around them until a renaissance occurred. And we're in the middle of one right now, even though it may look like it. We're in the middle of a renaissance right this moment, by the way. Right this moment. Right this moment. We're in the middle of a renaissance right now where that which is decadent can't hide anymore. It brags about its decadence. You see, you're in the middle of a sense of decadence right now that it can be seen and called by its true name, decadent, so that the energy can be transformed and transmuted. Life always wins. So even the decadent are going to stumble and fall and do something good accidentally. It's just the way it happens all the time. And so we're in the middle of this grand renaissance. And if you have eyes to see, you can see that which is hidden is now visible. And you can see the underpinnings of a kind and just society starting to emerge. You see it in the language. You see it in the activism. You see it. You see it. You see it. And so you don't stand the days of just contemplating the presence of God for your spiritual liberation for yourself is over. It's a moment now when you're in your inner work, which is still very necessary. You're doing it for the people who can't, and they're in your consciousness. So when you combine the if you can, you must. If you combine the awareness that you have enough information now, and that you must put into some kind of little action so that momentum transmutes inertia. Inertia is transmuted into momentum. And you begin to act by the good that you already know. You may not think it's significant, but you think about any bit of information that you have about the sacred laws of life, the universal presence, and you just let that be a practice. Let that be a practice. You start to synthesize and embody it. And then you begin to see a different world, I'm telling you here. Your mind won't be hijacked by the news feed of mediocrity. You'll see it. You'll discern it. You'll have your opinion about it. Absolutely, you're not going to have a spiritual lobotomy. No, you're not. But you begin to see a different world. A world that is right here. When he said the kingdom of heaven was at hand, that was not metaphorical. It's real. There's a light. There's a luminosity. There's a brilliance. There's a life that's right here. There's a love here. It's everywhere. And you can't see it unless it's being suppressed by a limited point of view, a limited perception. You're seeing it. And then you walk in it. You become its ambassador. And you become its feeling. You become its energy. And in the midst of decadence, in the midst of the old dying and the new being born, you become a vibrational midwife for that which is seeking to birth itself. You see it. You see the birth. You start calling it forward. And whatever your gifted area is, and everyone has a different gifted area. We don't want to be activist Nazis thinking that everybody's got to do the same thing. No. Everybody's got a gift. Somebody's going to sing about it. Somebody's going to march about it. Somebody's going to write about it. Somebody's going to go into the legal system. Somebody's going to go into the political system. Somebody's going to go into the medical system. Everyone has a gift. But you got to walk as an ambassador of the world that you're beginning to see so that your energy is more about what you're for than what you're against. That's the nature of the progressive universe. That's what progress is, and being progressive is. You must be able to articulate your life and its meaning and what you're about. Infinite potential. I'm activating it. You must be able to articulate the world you want to live in. What does it look like? And you must walk in that world now. You must walk in it now before it visibly manifests, and then synthesize what you know. Small acts become a tidal wave. Small conversations become treaties and affirmations and new conversation. Small acts, little at a time, create a flood of good. And so we say to ourselves, I am here to master the laws of life. I'm going to become a master. You might as well just embrace that for yourself. You can become a master. You can become a master. You can become a master of the law of mind and action. Let me be aware of the thoughts. You become a master of the law of radiance. I'm walking into a room, I'm going to radiate the quality I want to meet. You become an absolute master of right speech. It's difficult for some of you, I know. You start becoming addicted to the gossip. I don't want to, but did you hear this? And then a flood of toxic chemicals go through your body, and for a while it feels so good. But after a while, you won't be able to handle it. Your body becomes so sensitive to the light that you don't want to be bothered with bad speech. You master the law of right speech. Master the law of forgiveness for real. Master these laws until you're shining, you're glowing. You know, when Yeshua ben Joseph was around, this is before Christianity. I mean, Jesus didn't start Christianity or anything like that, you know. He was in the scene, and they met and meditated, prayed, fasted. But they could always tell the folks that had been in the Essene gathering because they glowed. They didn't go around proselytizing. They just glowed. They were glowing. And they knew those were one of those people because they were shining. We want to practice so deeply that we glow. We want to love so fervently that we glow. We want to practice these laws to such a degree that people will just say, are you involved in meditation? Do you do yoga? Do you? What are you climate change? What are you about? You say, I'm about my mother, father, God's business. I'm glowing for God. You see, that's the vibration that you want to live in. They notice you because of your glow, not just by what you're saying. You see, you're glowing with the joy and the love. And one more thing. This is very important, and I say it frequently because it's so important, and that is that you start to make breakthroughs in your perception, expand your awareness, that you are awareness itself, and the intrinsic joy begins to come forward, and the happiness and the divine peace and the love. You begin to notice after a while as you mature that these qualities have nothing to do with circumstances. It's like, I'm happy for no reason. I'm enjoying, there's no reason for me to enjoy. Matter of fact, I can give you 10 reasons why I shouldn't be. But I'm still in joy. I have peace of mind. I can give you 100 reasons today why I shouldn't have peace of mind, but I got it. Because it's intrinsic. Now here's the gift. Here's the gift of grace. When you're able to mature into having an awareness of your peace and joy and happiness independent of circumstances, then by law, you become a vibrational match for more good to flow in your life. It's just like, you're the vibrational match for it, and then by law, the law says, whoop, there she is. Zah! There's something to be grateful for. There's something to be joyful for. There's something to be at peace about. Oh my God, your perceptual windows are cleared, and you see the blessings that are being bestowed upon you moment by moment. And I'm talking about, we're not talking airy-fairy here. We're talking about manifest in the physical something, opportunities, people, open doors, greater prosperity shows up. And you find more and more to be grateful for because you have untethered your happiness to a circumstance and placed it on the presence of God within your very soul. This is spiritual maturity. This is spiritual power. This is love. This is love. And so I invite you to stand up for a moment. I invite you to put your hands up like this, as we love to do here at Agape. For those who can stand, please stand. Those who can't, we're standing for you. And say with me in this moment, my life is the life of the divine. Full to overflowing with dynamic good. I live in perpetual receptivity to more good than I can imagine. My life is an exclamation point for celebration. I celebrate the life of God every day. I just start to move your body. Jeff, give them a little something to move their body to. Move it.
I just want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day. The people, but the people let me down. So I turn the other way and I carry on anyhow. That's why I'm telling you, I just want to celebrate, yeah. Another day of living, yeah. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Had my hand on a dollar bill, and the dollar bill blew away. And the sun is shining down on me, and it's here to stay. That's why I'm telling you, I just want to celebrate, yeah. Another day of living, yeah. I just want to celebrate another day of living, yeah. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Doing it all,
All right, Jeff.
don't let it turn.
Somebody scream about it. Let us start our prayer right here, standing up. Feel in your bones that you're taking a stand for integrity. Do you know what that is? Some people put a moral thing on it. Integrity means you are in integrity with your soul. Your soul's calling. Passion and bliss get activated with the action and the activity. No, excuse me, the activation of your potential. You see. So somewhere along the line, if we're not in pure joy, we're not in integrity with our soul. So we're coming into it. We're coming into integrity with our soul now. And so hold your hands up for just a moment. Let's come into a spirit of gratitude and thanksgiving and pure appreciation. So grateful, so thankful, so appreciative for life itself. I want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of life. And we give thanks for this. And we begin to recognize that there's always an invisible presence behind everything. And we're beginning to see it with our inner eye now. We're recognizing the God presence, and then something happens. The recognition blends itself into a unitive awareness. I am what I'm recognizing. This presence, my life, is an emanation of this presence. No separation, no distance, no otherness, no other power. Those three words, all here now. All of the power, all of the presence, all of the love is right here, and it's right now. And it is from this awareness that the word is spoken for each and every one of us, whether they're halfway around the world on the live stream or on Facebook Live, or whether they're right here in the room. This prayer is non-local, which means it's already where it's going. I don't have to send a prayer anywhere. It's a non-local quantum understanding that we're all connected and that we transcended time and space. So I speak the word for each of us, that represents the one of us. The one God, the one power, the one presence, that we may be free today, that our body temple may be so in integrity with health that it can hold more life energy, that every organ and every action, every function of our body temple is made whole right now. Our mental body is so clean and clear, our emotional body is so pure. Body of our affairs aligning itself with divine order, elegance, beauty, symmetry, that our lives are made new in this instant. Oh, say, my life is made new. We hear that scriptural reference, behold, I make all things new. This is that moment right now. Newness is taking over our lives. Newness, newness, newness. So as you begin to take your seat now, you begin to sit down. Sit down in the awareness that even though your body is sitting, you're still taking a vibrational stand for life. And do not even think about where you're going after this. Be right here until the benediction. Just be right here in the field because you're adding to it. And so we just give thanks. It's going to be a great feeling tone here. A great feeling tone, Sister Carolyn.
There's a power, a presence, one life of all, and no other power can exist outside of the infinite's wonder. God's love, and oh yes, I know that I walk, oh yes, I walk in the love of God. There is a wisdom, a knowing, a loving, a truth. Whatever you need to know will come in God's way for you. Just say, I'll pray. I won't move, not till I know that I walk in the love of God. The power, the glory, the love of God. I can see it, I can feel it, and I know in my heart, oh, the power and the glory and the love of God. Don't you see it? Can't you feel it? Won't you say in your heart, oh, yes, I walk in the love of God.
Please take the hand of the being next to you and feel the power of a prayer vortex. If you're on the Facebook Live technology or live streaming, and if you're with somebody, many of you are in groups around the world, take the hands of the people that you're with right now and just feel that we're holding hands and hearts together, coming into a level of coherence around the fundamental idea of oneness and unity.